I never thought I'd be the one telling this story. But sometimes life twists in ways so raw, so forbidden, that silence becomes heavier than the truth. What happened between me and my stepmother shattered everything I thought I knew about love, family, and loyalty. I'm Ethan Carter, I'm 18 years old, and this is my story of blurred lines, betrayal, and choices that haunt me still. Growing up in a small Ohio town, life was simple, at least on the surface. My dad, Mark Carter, was a hardworking contractor. He wasn't around much, always buried in blueprints or at job sites, but he did his best. After my mom left when I was little, he remarried. That's when Lauren came into our lives. She was only 38, with hazel eyes that could melt ice and a laugh that filled the house. She wasn't just a stepmom to me. Over time, she became my confidant, my safe place. We weren't a typical stepfamily. The bond we built was deeper, warmer. She raised me through my teenage years, pouring herself into making sure I never felt abandoned. Movie nights on the couch, late-night talks about school, girls, and fears. I told her things I never dared share with my dad. She had this way of making me feel seen. Like I belonged. But closeness can be dangerous when the lines blur. And ours blurred in ways I couldn't admit, not even to myself. At first, it was harmless. She'd hug me tight, kiss me on the cheek, ruffle my hair. She'd walk around the house in shorts and a tank top, never self-conscious, never thinking twice. It was innocent, or at least it seemed that way. Until something inside me shifted. I was 16 when I first noticed. The way her hair fell across her shoulders when she leaned over the counter. The softness of her voice when she laughed. The curve of her smile. These weren't thoughts I wanted, and they terrified me. She was my stepmother. Off limits. But once that seed was planted, it grew in shadows I couldn't control. One summer afternoon, I came home early from school. She was in the kitchen, stirring a pot of pasta. Her hair in a messy bun, a loose shirt hanging off one shoulder. She looked different. Not just Lauren, my stepmom, but a woman. My pulse quickened, guilt clawed at me, and I looked away, pretending to grab a soda. But the thought stayed. The temptation lingered. It all came to a head one night. Dad was away on a work trip, and Lauren and I were on the couch watching a cheesy rom-com. She leaned against me, her head resting on my shoulder, her scent lavender and vanilla making my thoughts blur. My heart pounded. I tried to focus on the screen, but the warmth of her against me was overwhelming. When the movie ended, she stretched, yawning. "I'm heading to bed," she said softly. Then she looked at me. "You coming?" It was such a normal question, but it felt like a loaded gun. I nodded, even though every nerve in my body screamed to run. In her room, she slipped into a t-shirt and shorts, casual as ever. We climbed into bed. We'd shared it before when Dad was gone, it wasn't new. But this time was different. The darkness pressed in. I lay there, tense, every inch of me alive with conflict. My hand brushed her arm. She didn't move. I kept going, my hand trembling as it traced her side. My breath caught, and I knew I should stop. But I didn't. I pressed closer, my body against hers. She stirred, her voice soft in the dark. "Ethan." I froze. But then she turned, her eyes finding mine in the faint glow from the streetlight outside. Instead of pulling away, she reached up, touching my face. "It's okay," she whispered, her voice breaking rules neither of us should have crossed. And just like that, the dam broke. I kissed her. She kissed me back. It was messy, desperate, wrong, and it was everything I'd been burying for years. That night changed everything. The next morning, the weight of guilt crashed over me like a tidal wave. Lauren acted normal, making breakfast, sipping her coffee like nothing had happened. But it had. And the silence between us screamed louder than words. We didn't talk about it. We carried on as if life hadn't been split in two. But I couldn't look at her the same. My chest twisted when she laughed with my dad, jealousy burning like acid. Every smile she gave him felt stolen. Every touch she offered him felt like a lie. Dad noticed, too. The cracks formed slowly but visibly. Lauren grew distant, pulling away from him, finding excuses not to be close. One night, I overheard him confronting her in the living room. "What's going on with you?" he demanded, his voice tight. "Nothing's wrong," she replied, but her voice wavered. "Don't lie to me, Lauren. You're hiding something." There was silence, then her voice, trembling. "It's Ethan. Something happened between us." My world stopped. Hearing her say it out loud made it real in a way I wasn't ready for. Dad's voice turned to stone. "Are you saying what I think you're saying?" Her silence was answer enough. He left that night. Bags packed. The door slammed, and with it, the illusion of family shattered. Lauren and I were left in the wreckage. We cried, we apologized, but no words could undo what had been done. Therapy followed. Painful, raw, honest therapy. We had to face truths we didn't want to see, that our closeness had blurred boundaries in dangerous ways. That emotional intimacy, without lines, can twist into something toxic. The therapist talked about trust, about respect, about how relationships demand balance and consent. She said love isn't enough if it's built on betrayal. And those words stuck. Now, months later, I'm still picking up the pieces. My dad won't speak to me. Lauren and I barely exchange words, living like strangers in the same house. The bond we once had is gone, replaced by silence and shame. But I'm telling this story because I know someone out there feels the same confusion, the same guilt, the same pull toward something they know is wrong. If that's you, don't stay silent. Don't let the lines blur until they disappear. Talk to someone. Get help before you cross the point of no return. Because once you do, nothing will ever be the same. If this story struck you, subscribe to Broken Vows. Every week, we dive into real, raw stories of love, betrayal, and redemption. Share your thoughts in the comments. What would you have done in my shoes? Thanks for listening. And remember, boundaries matter, even when love blurs them.